Hey, welcome to North Point Community Church's Midweek Live.
Great.
Is that what we call it?
That's it.
Oh my
Nailed
gosh.
it.
All right.
I'm just gonna be sitting back here.
I'm Kevin Manning. I'm today's host. I'm the hostess with the mostess. And this is my guest today. Her name is Kim. Kim, what's your last name? I'm kidding. This is Kim Bass. We are celebrating 1 year.
1 year
of Facebook or Midweek Live.
We're all, yes. This whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
This is 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
And so Kim came and said, hey, Kevin, you were our first guest, which I don't even remember that, to be honest with you.
We talked about prayer.
We talked about prayer. I do remember that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember being the first.
You were the first
yes.
one. Yeah.
So a year later, here we are. Mm-hmm. And so Kim said, what do you think? Let's do this. And I'm like, but I'm in charge.
Yeah.
I'm in charge this time. All right. And we're not talking about prayer. No, I'm kidding. So here's the funny. Kim's been on all these episodes every week.
Every week.
So we've done 52?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have.
So everybody every week says, here's, hey, I'm Kim. And
Right.
But, Kim Vass, Kim is married to
Dennis. Uh-huh.
How many years?
It'll be 25 in December.
Wowzers.
Yeah. It'll be 25.
So you got married young.
We got married.
Yeah.
We got married at 19.
19. All right. Chris and I were 20.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
awesome.
I mean, like barely 19 because my birthday's this month and Dennis's birthday's in November.
Wow.
So when we say 19, really, we were like just barely 19. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got, and you have two boys.
We do.
Now, I don't know if both have been on this. I know Dyson or
no, Dylan hasn't. Dylan hasn't.
Dyson
has.
was.
Yeah.
So you have two boys.
I do.
Dylan is how old?
23.
23, no kidding.
I know, right?
So I just came across a picture when I was youth pastor here, and it was like our senior night, our senior breakfast.
Oh, yes.
And I just came across a picture that he was in. It was, we'd take a picture at the end of the night.
Yeah.
With Ange and just some of the staff, right?
Yeah.
Small group leaders.
Yeah.
And but he was in that picture, and I was like, wow. So 23.
23. Yeah. And our guys actually played water polo. Mm-hmm. It must have just been 1 year because I think it was Josh.
Yeah. So he's a year older.
Yeah.
School year older.
Yeah, but probably two. Yeah, but probably two school years older.
Oh, is it 2
I'm
school
thinking
years?
he's two school. Because did he graduate in 2015?
No clue. Sorry, no clue.
You were like, no, I don't remember that. Once it was done, it was done.
Yeah, and then Dyson is how old?
He just turned 19.
Just turned 19.
Yeah.
So these are the amazing things. I mean, I do
the
same thing with my own children, and it's like, oh my gosh, they're that old.
You look around, it goes so fast.
Yep.
I'm shocked. Even when I say those, I'm like, really? I mean, like 23 and 9, it's gone so fast.
Yep. Do they ever, has anybody ever, said, your thought when you were with your boys, maybe they were your brothers?
No.
No?
Actually, yes, with Dylan one time, yes, and I was like, "Oh, yes. No,
No, but you aged wonderful, so it's like, yeah, dude, this could be your brother, And
there was one time, and I remember Dylan going like, "That was really awkward." And I was like, "Yeah, for me too, buddy." So,
fun factoid: when the baptism pool for some we used it at Easter, of whatever year that was, Dyson.
You baptized
was this
him.
little
dude.
He
was tiny.
And he's my favorite picture. I should have.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to post
it. Yes. Favorite picture when he came up out of the water.
He looks like
he was just wild, And he asked me. That was a little bit of a shocker. Because Eddie was children's pastor and all those things. Oh yeah,
for sure.
But it was like, I want him, and I'm like, sweet. Hopefully I don't scare this kid, right?
Oh yeah, last year? What was the COVID year? Because I was cleaning, and I think I sent you the picture. I was like, "Look what I found in one of the drawers."
Seriously. and we used that upper pool. That we've never used.
Oh
since.
yeah, that is so true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because it needed to be a little deeper on one side for the adult, so it's really difficult to be on your knees.
Oh, so I could baptize in there, is what you're saying?
You'd be 100% fine.
It's Kim sized.
Yeah. Yes. But anyway, that was such a crazy, man, and it was always one of my very favorite pictures because of the joy and just wild expression.
Oh yeah, I will definitely be posting this. Yeah. It is a great picture. It is a very excited Dyson for sure.
Yep. So now, did you grow up in Fresno?
I did.
You grew up in Fresno.
Yeah.
What high school?
I went to Fresno High.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fresno. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, shout out to Fresno, the Warriors and not
That's
the
right.
Warriors. But
We
anyway.
used, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, oh
literally,
my
we did.
gosh.
We used to do that
Wow.
in
Yeah,
the
that's
bus.
naughty. That's naughty now. So
We can't do that now.
can't. We're
Yeah.
going to move on from that.
It was a warrior
actually.
cry. It was a warrior cry.
Okay, here's a great question I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody sees your personality. You know, you see you online.
Yeah.
You do our online hosting.
Yeah.
You know, all this sort of stuff. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
So when I do those tests, I usually test really close to the 50-50 range.
Yep.
I would say when I was younger, I was definitely more of an extrovert. But even at that, I feel like the older I've gotten, actually, the more introverted I've gotten. But what's strange is you would ask my parents. I remember my parents introducing me to friends and family or whatever, and they'd be like, she's quiet and, but like once she gets to know you, she'll like never stop talking.
Right.
So clearly, I had a little bit of a guard up until I'd get to know people. And then I was just like, oh yeah, anything goes.
As a youth pastor, I used to always hate those interactions with parents because I'm like, you're saying it right in front of your child.
Oh yeah.
This is not good.
Oh yeah.
Like, whatever. But
Yeah.
I asked that question because I see the introverted side of you.
Oh yeah.
Not that you're, so there is what's called an introverted extrovert.
Uh-huh.
And if you look it up, it describes me to a T.
Yeah.
But nobody ever would say Kevin's introverted.
Right.
I don't think many people would say that of you.
Right.
You know?
But I would probably say that of me. Yeah.
Yes. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate the introverted side more.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, I can't do an entire day all by myself, no talking to anybody. Not an entire day.
I might be able to do that.
You might be able to. I can't. Okay. But I used to not be able to function without being around people.
Oh.
I used to get all my energy from being around people.
No, I don't think I was ever that extroverted.
Yeah.
I think there's always been a part of me that like definitely enjoys being a little bit more secluded and a little more to myself.
Yeah.
And then like being around people definitely gives me energy.
Yep.
Especially when I'm getting to know them. That's like actually the
Yep.
funnest part, I think, of just life in general, right?
But do you hit a point where there's no more energy with people?
Actually, I don't think I do until I'm not with them anymore.
Okay. And then it's
I don't ever, or at least I don't ever feel it when
Yeah.
I'm with them. And then once I'm like headed home or whatever, we've, left the conversation, I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of exhausted.
yeah. I've gone a little bit further on that and just like I really have boundaries. I don't have boundaries. I don't have good boundaries. I just have like a place where I'm like, whoa, I'm done.
Okay.
Now, they're not going to know that.
Yeah.
They're really not.
Right.
I'm not going to shut the meeting down. I'm not going to whatever. But
yeah.
at this point in my life, there does come a point where I'm like, wow, I'm tapped.
Yeah.
And used to, it was like same thing, driving home and you're like, no, this is great, man.
Yeah. And then when it crashed, you crashed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. It's just interesting. But I've noticed that about you. And it's not my being on isn't fake. Yours isn't fake. It's not fake.
No,
it's not put on. It's just it's finding a balance in that.
I think it's like reserved for certain. It's like there. I can call upon it like whenever I need to, and it's kind of just this like nitro or something that just can be activated very, very easily.
The danger in that.
There is danger in
is
that.
when you're quiet, somebody's going to make the observation to themselves at least, maybe to somebody else, possibly to you or me, and they're going to say, "What's wrong?"
Oh yeah, I get that.
What's wrong?
Oh yeah.
Something bothering you?
Oh yeah.
No. Mm-hmm. Right? No, but
oh yeah.
It's this thing because it's like because we're not at this level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good. I don't know how to explain that I'm quiet right now.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I'm actually
and
good.
honestly, I think in being quiet, because there's a real beauty in being quiet because you really do get a chance to. I think I'm an observer. I really do like to listen and learn from people and observe, not out of judgment, but just to like get a feel for people. And I feel like people will be themselves more if I'm not interrupting or trying to interject or any of those things. So I really want to get to know them. And so I think the quietness also comes from just like, I'm learning about people. I'm learning about things. And then when I'm by myself, clearly I'm I'm working or I'm getting something done or I'm, resting. That is really rest looks like.
Oh yeah, for your brain to relax.
It's not firing or thinking or at all. It's
I can go home on a Sunday, and I'm so emotionally spent.
Yeah.
From talking to so many people that, I mean, there's no physical to it. Not on a Sunday morning here on the patio or
right.
whatnot. But so intellectually, after you teach a few services, you're going home spent. But being on the patio and talking to so many people and stuff, it's like I go home. If I have 15 minutes in a chair at home after church, there's a great chance my eyes are just going to close on me. Man.
Oh, I pretty regularly take a nap on Sunday afternoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when we had 5:30 service.
Oh gosh,
then I would have to.
Those 4 services were.
Oh yeah,
it was a different story, man.
Yeah, it was a whole different level right there.
And I'm not gonna lie, there were times as a youth pastor, I milked the fact that I didn't have to be here on a Sunday night all the time. I quietly milked it.
I don't. Did you quietly do it? Did you quietly?
No. Oh no, yeah. I didn't want anybody to be like, wow,
you don't want to draw attention.
Kevin's not putting his time in. The worship team is, but Kevin's not. Wow, I don't have to be here on a Sunday night.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Sorry,
Maybe
Colin.
they won't know.
Sorry. Yeah, we're not back there yet, but yeah, and again, I love it. But getting that energy to come back at 5:30.
I needed the nap.
Those days were.
I needed the nap.
Wowzers,
Yeah.
So
really quick, Duke, you asked a question. You said took a test. We, as staff, we take the Myers-Briggs test, which is a personality test that does, basically it gives you like there's actually 5 letters now in the newer version.
I haven't taken it.
But there are 4 letters that basically kind of help to define your personality a little bit. So one of them is extrovert, introvert, and then there's like sensing or intuitive, thinker or feeler, and then a planner or a fly by the seat of your pants. I'm sure that's not what it
is. The new letter J, like jacked
yes.
up?
It's it's T for turbulent.
Wow.
Which I believe I actually have.
Huh.
Turbulent, and I think I don't remember what the other letter is because I was the T for turbulent. So
interesting. I'm gonna have to go look at that now.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, just because we brought up the whole test, years ago, I took this. I worked for Gospel Light Publishing and for a short time, and we took it as an organization. And there was this other guy in the group that took it, and I remember he came to me, and there's nothing about this guy. And, he was a nice guy, but nothing about him. I thought we were similar.
You had the same personality.
We had the same personality because they published them amongst all the workers. He's all, man, we're like the same personality. And I'm thinking,
really?
We're not close to the same personality.
Yeah.
And I probably was judging, I'm like, no way, in my immaturity. As I learned over the years, so I was extreme ESTJ.
Okay.
Extreme. Everything was extreme.
Okay.
There was no question.
There's nobody tapped out on.
He was borderline.
Okay.
All those things.
Yes.
And I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Now I'm borderline virtually everything now.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to tell you how, because there have been people in my life that use their personalities as excuses, and I never liked it. I never cared for it. It's like, so part of understanding your personality and others is so that you can work best with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I know I have to work, if I'm dealing with somebody, with a different personality,
There's a grace and understanding that you have to put for,
kind of thing. And there's strategies to it. There's books that help you with
Absolutely.
it. Okay. But I've worked with people that have just used that in my life, where you're like, whoa, well, you know how I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no.
we know how you are, all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We do. Everybody does, And so there came that point where I went, am I that?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Am I that? Well, we just let Kev do Kev because that's Kev.
Right. He's not saying it, but that's the feeling that we're getting.
Yes. And so I started wondering that about myself. And so, interestingly enough, I think it was only through becoming naturally a bit more introverted, like appreciating quiet time, appreciating some time alone, that actually allowed me, because I'm a ADD crazy, and so learning how to appreciate time alone without my ADD ruining that.
Yeah.
Is what allowed me to think through, I want to be more balanced.
Yeah.
I don't want to be extreme.
Yeah.
And I worked hard to actually make sure
to
that
kind of
changed in my
course
life.
correct in
Yeah.
some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you have natural tendencies
Oh yeah.
for sure, but yeah, I really, in a sense, kind of worked hard to make sure that I
Wasn't so extreme.
yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Now I am extreme in ways,
Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
but again, just in the overall
Yeah.
larger
I
picture.
I love. So I also do the Enneagram. Not everybody does, but I actually really love learning about personalities, and I've actually really kind of dove deep, like with my own family, just so I like know what their letters are. I know what their Enneagram numbers are, and so I actually do try to use it as a tool to communicate and understand and give grace, or work on an approach with someone that I just know this probably will be a better approach than my instinct to do it this way, and hopefully have some good healthy conversations because we're able to talk.
Well, when you think of the idea of preparing for a difficult meeting, the reason it may be difficult is because some of the personalities in it, type thing. Of course, the people you're having that meeting with may be thinking the exact same thing of you, and so considering not only topically why it could be difficult, but actually, Brian, I think the scriptures talk about consider others better than yourselves, right?
More than you,
and so being able to do that, even going into a meeting where somebody's personality might be very difficult for you. I mean, there are personalities that wear me out.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I think that's for
somebody
everybody.
else could be on the end of this mic and saying the same thing and thinking of me.
Right.
Kevin has a major shutoff valve problem when it comes to talking.
Yeah.
So I can,
But see, I'm a people pleaser, right? So I hear that and go, oh God, I hope nobody thinks that of me. And if somebody does, I hope they tell me so that I can correct it, because I would, that's where my immediate,
Please post below
I would
in the live chat. Okay. That's a question I wanted to ask.
What?
Criticism. Have we had any criticism with Midweek Live?
I have not had. I'm trying to think now all the way back. I don't think we've had criticism. I think we've had questions and stuff come in regarding a topic we might be talking about. But for the most part, I've had a lot of people really just saying it's helpful to get to know. I mean, that's the reason why it started, right? Was just like, our church is so large that it's very possible, especially when we had 4 services, you could go to church with somebody here and never know that you go to the same church. This actually happened to me. We had neighbors down the street. Oh, you go to church? Oh, that's great. Yeah, I work for my church. I work for North Point. Oh, we go to North Point. It's like, oh, I never,
Right.
And so it just kind of brought to light more and more of the fact that you can easily go here and never meet the people around you. And so let's give people an opportunity to get to know each other just a little bit more, because it might feel a little bit more like family. And that's really what church is all about.
So you've hosted pastors, other staff members. We've hosted plenty of volunteers and folks and just involved in
how ministries start,
kind of thing. Elder care, has been in here. I know as we've highlighted Celebrate Recovery and Recovery Month.
We did Special Stars, Tina Salvador.
So there's been a lot of very cool, like, did you even know this happened? Because if you don't have a child, that's working within the Special Stars, then you don't know.
You don't even know we have this ministry.
Exists, right? But as now you meet people and you're like, hey, our church has this or whatever, it might be, which is really cool. I, as a pastor, I've been here quite a while, but there are things that I'm like, oh, I don't know that I knew that was happening.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Steve Williams told me years and years ago when I first came on staff, the hardest thing, because I came from a small church.
Yeah, I came from a small church.
And he said the hardest thing is going to be, you're going to drive by here at night or, during the day, whatever, and you're going to see cars and you're not going to know why they're there.
What is happening? I've done that. So I live too close to the church, I'll be honest.
Am I supposed to be there?
Did I miss something? Oh, no.
Pulled my phone up going,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I don't have that on my calendar.
Yeah, looking at the calendar, make sure you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought to myself, oh, yeah, haha, and then,
yeah, that started to happen.
And then if you have the FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Should I have been?
Yeah. What is happening that I wasn't invited to?
Should I have been asked? Yeah. Why wasn't I asked? Because it was a women's event, Kevin.
Right. I end up watching people's kids when Christy has big women's events. I end up watching other
Do you really?
people's kids.
I didn't know that.
So I always want to come and hear my wife speak.
Yeah.
But I end up not, because I end up watching other people's kids.
Awesome.
So they can attend.
Hey,
And
just
I'm
a
like,
slow clap for Kevin.
dude,
No, I'm just kidding.
No, gosh, no. Oh, no, I go home for those
I was gonna say,
watching
what, do you
people's
order
kids
pizza?
or whatever going, oh, my gosh, you're kidding me. Like they worked me over.
Right. That's
yeah.
awesome.
I love it. I miss my kids being young. And
yeah.
I know if you're a parent of young kids right now,
You don't feel that way. We get that. Yeah. We've been there.
But as they get older, my oldest son's getting married in a few weeks.
On the 30th.
On the 30th. And so, there's just things. We sat down actually yesterday afternoon with he and his fiance, and we planned the service.
Wow.
And very cool.
Absolutely.
But just a unique time. And
oh, yeah.
so I do a lot of reflecting back, and I love, gosh, when your kids would just get up and put on who knows what to wear for the day.
Just so you know, I would try to correct that before they walked out the door.
So did Chrissy, but I'm like, whatever, who cares?
Yeah. That looks great.
Cowboy boots and, swim trunks.
Shorts, yeah.
And a tank top that doesn't fit. Whatever.
Like, really? Do we really want to do that?
Yeah. But, though, again, just fun, fun times.
Yeah.
Here's a great question for you.
Yeah.
Going to be a hard one. This one's going to be a little bit of a sucker punch.
Okay. Here we go.
I think there might be a right answer, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right answer. Well, now the pressure's really on.
As soon as I say the question, you're going to know the right answer. Everybody will know the right answer. Who's been your favorite guest?
I actually do have an answer for that.
Is it going to be the right answer? No, I'm teasing about the right answer.
Will and Nicole Arvance were
Yes.
probably my very favorite. I learned I hadn't really gotten to know them before.
Yep.
That was really one of the first times we had talked a little bit. We had gone some, with any interview, we do some email conversation and we, said, hey, here's some questions, get to know you a little bit more. And I had known Will from watching videos that we'd done with him in it and stuff. And so you kind of have a idea of who they are. And then when you're sitting with them, it's a whole different experience. And with Will and with Nicole, that was definitely the case. Yeah. And I remember finishing that and even saying, we're going to have another. And I really mean that. At some point, I'm going to have them back because there was just some great stuff.
They have a unique, because we experienced that, my wife and I, they were over for dinner and it was like, and Nicole's this quiet
She is
person, right? And Will, if you're listening, you're not,
right?
And
he
knows
knows.
that.
He knows that. Yeah, he knows.
Sometimes we wish you actually were, but anyway, I've never hosted, so I don't know if I can say that, but yes, but then Nicole just brings these power nuggets to the conversation.
Really true.
Right? About their life, their past, and what led up to things, and you're just, and so my deal was like, this could actually really be a movie.
Her patience.
Yes.
You'd hear a lot of wives really, you'd hear a story of really a lot of nagging and stuff. You do not hear that with Nicole.
Yeah, and maybe they just don't share that publicly. Maybe there was. I don't know.
No, I really don't think there was, And
it's there's the time of, being an atheist.
Right.
Yes, there's just such cool. So I'm glad you said that. I actually, didn't even think about them when I said that because there have been so many people on here that
there have been so many great. Well,
and I don't want you to say me.
The people pleaser, the people pleaser in
me
me wanted to say. Well, I really enjoyed our conversations. Are always really comfortable.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead and say it.
I knew, but we didn't have to go there. Okay. Oh,
you're all there's a right at. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yes, that would be a great one to come back to. I love the idea that I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
That they have so many unique chapters in their life together. Like, I'm like, this is a movie.
It really is.
This could be spelled out in a 2-hour drama. And God gets all the glory. Like, this is rad.
100%.
So, yeah, very, very cool. I like that. Now, there's something recent I think is cool. Something recent you just participated in. On Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
No, I was going to say Saturday.
I played hooky. I didn't go to church.
Our online hosts or guests knew that. But yeah, you participated in the.
It was just a 5K. Yep. It was the shortest one. So for those that don't know, I would be that person if I didn't have a dad that was a runner. That's just 3.1 miles. And so I've had just a lot of issues with my feet and bones and difficulties and stuff. And in May, I started feeling better, started taking some vitamin D, and I was like, okay, I actually feel like I can maybe run.
Yeah.
Like I walk every day. Maybe I'll just do this thing slow. And right around July, I was running pretty easily a good 2 miles and was like, okay, I think I might want to try and have it, like, set a goal. I've never done this as like an adult. You watch your kids compete, you do all of these things, and why not try it for yourself? So I just literally said, okay, you know what? For my birthday, I just want to set a goal. I'm going to be 44, and I would just love to be at goal weight and to run my first 5K, because it's something I never, ever thought I could do. And I'll be honest, I would really like to get to a place where I can run a 10K or more, but the or more is definitely not something I'm owning yet. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's cool. That's very cool.
I'm so happy.
And
I
it
ran great. I mean, like, I was really surprised with how well it went.
No, that's part of the awesome part. Like, you blew your goal out.
By like a minute,
Yeah.
like per mile. So it was 3 minutes totally faster than I thought. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, so again,
Yeah.
I'm not a runner. I don't know if you could tell that or not, but you ever seen a caboose run down the street? But the best part of that, the thing I loved, just seeing and hearing it, was like, you set a goal.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it was only 3 point. No, only nothing.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, because there's plenty of me's out here in the world.
Yeah.
I have like 475 or 6 different reasons why I don't run. Actually.
I have those too. Trust me.
but you did it. You set a goal.
Yeah.
And you said your birthday's coming up and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And you did
Yeah,
it.
I just
And
wanted to
you did
feel
better
good.
Than you
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
even put out there as your goal.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is rad.
Yeah.
And so I just want to bring it up because I think that's inspirational for all of us. I think it's cool. We all need goals.
Yeah.
And until we speak those goals into existence, we have absolutely no ability to actually reach
And
those
it was
goals.
something like for me, and it sounds like a really selfish statement,
it
but
doesn't.
it's like running has become like a very spiritual thing for me. It's the time that I'm praying. It's the
Wow.
time that I'm really calling on the Lord for people that I care about. It's praying in the neighborhoods as I'm running.
Yeah.
It's praying to teach myself that I can trust God built this body to be able to do the thing that I feel like I can't do, but I know I can do with His help. And so it's been like a spiritual workout for me.
That's awesome.
And
That's really cool.
so I really enjoy that time. It's part of my quiet time. It's not the only part of my quiet time, but it literally is. Sometimes I just have headphones in to just muffle out the world so I can just really listen for the Lord and spend time in His presence and stuff. So
That's awesome.
It's
that's something I've never even thought about. It's like, but you say when you're in difficult situations, the best thing you can do is actually spend time praying for others.
yes.
And
Absolutely.
it's like running would be a difficult situation.
It's
for
a
me.
very
All
difficult situation.
for sure. There are more difficult situations, but
There are
would,
others as well. Yes.
That would be one. I think we're running out. Are we running out of time?
We're getting close.
We're getting close.
We
Okay,
got like
okay.
two
Yeah,
to 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're good. We're good then. But yes, goals. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
When we don't speak them into existence, we don't reach them.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't. So,
Yep.
personal goals, health goals, all those sorts of things. Reading the Bible, kind of thing. Because had you ran this and been 30 seconds longer than your goal, there's still a complete success in that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the beauty. I think so often we preface things with "it was only."
I know.
Whether it's a running thing or a scripture that I memorized or whatever. People constantly preface things by lowering.
Yeah.
We're not
Which is funny because as I was training for it, I was like, I could never do like 3 mile. Like I could never do that. And so it's funny because I'm like, it's only like a 5, but honestly, I didn't know if I could.
Right.
Because as you're starting off, anybody who's ever run, you feel like your lungs are like killing you, your legs, like what how do people do this, And at some point, I'm gonna be honest, I've thought about just video blogging about this, mainly because I just think I'm that person. I'm the person that would say, I am not a runner. I cannot do that. But something does change over time. Like somehow it does start getting better and it does start actually, strange enough, start to feel good. And so it's interesting how that it's a slow process. It's something you have to really be patient for. And it's got so many spiritual lines within that, right? We wait on the Lord.
Yep. Yep.
We have to push through pain. We have to wait for who knows how long. We have to feel discomfort and yet stay vigilant in like laying our lives before the Lord and putting our requests before him and not being selfish about everything, but thinking about others and praying for others. And like I said, it's just taught me so much about the Lord, about myself, and really just how prayer is powerful. In that time of prayer, there's been so many answers to prayer. Not all of them have been great answers. When I say answers, I just mean sometimes we're just praying that somebody receives an answer about something. It may not always be the thing that they want to hear or the answer we are hoping or praying for, but to receive an answer from the Lord is still an answer from the Lord.
It is. And it's, they're not always easy.
They're not always easy.
And they're not recognizable if you don't pray them.
Right.
I mean, if you're not constantly in that, like you just miss.
Yeah.
I love that running. Let's be honest. Everything we do, because God's given us our life, to lay down, to say, hey, look, you don't think you can. I'm not a runner. I don't think I can.
Right.
I don't know that I won't work towards that. It doesn't seem like it's a goal in my life, but you don't. It's not. Okay, it's not. But it doesn't mean that it won't be.
Right.
Why? Because when God does speak into you, and you're like, why this?
Right.
Why this?
Why the one thing I know I would never ever want to do in my life?
Right. And then we kind of go, well,
there's
that's how I actually knew it was God.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with me.
Nothing about it. Mm-mm. I didn't even dig church growing up. I wasn't against God. It was just Christian people they argued all the time.
I was gonna say they're difficult.
I didn't dig it. And you know what? That was part of my ability to recognize God's call in my life. Was like, you're calling me to do something that.
Yeah, I'm really not seeing.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And how do I have such strong feelings towards this and stuff? So again, goals, recognizing, what God wants from us, and who knows the doors that end up opening in your life that you end up walking right through. That have nothing to do with running. Right. But because you ran. Right. Yeah. Now those doors are actually open. I mean, just the confidence in the Lord and what God's given you. Your abilities, your body's held together. Yeah. He knit you together. Yeah. So yes, I just think so much of that, people are always worried about talking too much about themselves and things. People like to talk about themselves. The beautiful thing is we learn lessons from hearing stories from one another. That's the other thing with Midweek Live. Yeah. We're hearing lessons. Oh, yeah. We're hearing, lessons of perseverance, faith, just how God has put things on people's hearts, just whether it's start a ministry or just how God rocked their world in something. And
we learn from that.
And we learn from it. Absolutely. That's just where you're like, oh my gosh. Sometimes radical conversion is we show these videos, we do these things, and yet there are others. It's not a radical story. Yeah, it's a faith. It's just a faith story. Everything doesn't have to be some radical, crazy.
It's so funny that you say that. I grew up in the church like you grew up in the church, and I remember as a teenager, people would come and get their testimonies, and there'd be this rough life and like this clear feeling like so jealous, like wish that I had a story like that. Like mine's just like I've always known the Lord, and that's just like plain toast.
That was Eddie Crane to me. I wish I had your testimony, Kevin. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I was jacked up as a teenager. More of us need your testimony. Yeah. Right?
What's funny though, Kevin? I made poor decisions late, like in my early 20s that gave me a testimony. And there's a part of me that always wonders if it's because of that place where I feel like I wanted a story, that I chased one.
I think it's a real thing.
I think it's a real thing too. I really do.
And the reality is God saying, I'm writing your story.
Yeah. I didn't have to.
It's okay.
I'll tell you, I didn't have to.
No, the routes we went. So we can say I'm grateful for where I went because it's brought me to where I am. And that can be plan B. Yeah. I'm not convinced it was fully plan A. Yeah. For my life, I'm not talking about anybody else's, but for mine, I made those choices. Yeah. And I knew there was a better way. Yeah. But I still made those choices. Now that's a part of my story.
I was going to say, there's like a guilt to some degree. I mean, that you have to look back on and understand because you knew better.
Absolutely.
There's actually a whole different level because before, if it was somebody that didn't ever know really the Lord, they didn't know
That's right.
But we were already exposed to the light. We already
Sure.
knew right from wrong and chose wrong for a time.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a weight you have to carry for a while. I don't know that I necessarily carry it now, but it's like, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to.
I'm grateful for churches down in Ventura, California, and folks that have ministered and reached friends of mine through high school that I should have, but I chose a different path those days.
Yeah.
But I've known them to come to Christ, and I've heard stories, and I'm just like so grateful for God's faithfulness in people's lives because I wasn't the example that I should have been.
Should have been, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So these aren't regret. This is just me looking at the big picture.
Yeah,
in life,
for sure.
right?
I mean, you can't. It is what it is.
It happened, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
And I hope for those opportunities to share with others that maybe I never got to, in time. So, but
Yeah.
God's faithful, man. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. So
Yeah.
I think we have to wrap up.
We do.
Okay.
We got to wrap it up.
Hey, 1 year anniversary. We're gonna go eat cake and ice cream. Or,
No, I'm not.
Or
I'm
just
not
those
gonna.
stale Chipotle chips.
The Chipotle chips.
That somebody left here. But,
Yeah.
But that'll be cool. Thanks, Kim, for being here today. I'm grateful that I got to be the host. And, if you want me to be the host more often, no, I'm just kidding.
But no, I was going to say, put your.
Absolutely kidding. We
Vote,
love what you
vote.
do, Kim. Absolutely love what you do. This has been a cool idea that got birthed through a crazy COVID time and all that. And here we
times.
are a year later. So thanks for all your faithfulness in that and your ideas and vision for it. So God bless you. We love you guys. Signing off.
Have a good one, guys.
We're out.